Hello, I'm Game Retainer, and in this video I'll be going over some of the stuff that will be coming in the Storms Brewing update. I'll put some gameplay footage on the screen so you've got something to watch, and I will put up some pictures and stuff as we go along. With that said, let's jump straight in. The Fun Pimps have actually released quite a lot of information around Storms Brewing, and some of it has been received positively, other stuff has been a bit divisive. We'll start with the more divisive things, and the biggest one being the biome progression system. With this update, each biome, aside from the pine forest region, will have its own danger. So you'll have smoke in the burnt forest, heat in the desert, cold in the snow, and radiation in the wasteland. While technically you can still visit these biomes early on during your playthrough, I'm going to assume that you'll die pretty quickly, or at least you'll have some kind of negative effect for being in said biome without being prepared. In order to enter other biomes without any negative effects, you'll be able to craft consumables for a temporary biome elemental resistance. For a more permanent solution, you'll be able to complete specific challenges that will give you a permanent biome elemental hazard immunity, and that was a fun sentence to say. Whether this is just an outright permanent perk or a clothing model or something, we don't know, but it'll be interesting to see how they do it. Each biome is also going to have a maximum loot cap, and I quite like this idea. While we don't know the specifics of it, if you're making your way around the forest or whatever and you come across a chest, the chances are you're not going to find anything good. And I think it kind of should be like that. So making the loot more difficult to obtain, I think, can help prolong the game without making it feel stretched, but that's just my opinion. If you're not a fan of this, then that's not going to be an issue, because there's going to be a game option that will allow you to turn this feature off. So you're not necessarily forced to do this, although I think it looks quite fun. There are going to be new zombies coming to the game. The one we know of for sure is called the Desert Plague Spitter. There is a concept image from the Fun Pimps that has been put out, which I'll put on the screen now. Looks pretty good, and although we don't know the details, with it being called a spitter, I'm going to assume that it spits. It does say in the notes that the Fun Pimps put out that there are several new biome zombies. Whether that means they can only be found in said biome, or that they are most likely to be found in that biome, I don't know. I'm assuming on Horde Night, it doesn't matter what biome you're in, all types of zombies will come, but I could be wrong. There are also going to be 2 new zombie types for end game play. At the moment we have green radiated zombies, and they are, well, green radiated versions of existing zombies. It looks like we're going to get 2 new ones. They are the charged blue and infernal orange zombies. They're set to have new behaviours, although we don't know what they are, and it said, and I'm quoting here, "These new archetypes will intensify the later game experience." And I hope that's true, because the end game does get a little bit boring after a while, so a challenge is quite nice. The last thing I've got on zombies is a bit of a weird one. I'm going to quote from the notes here. "We have added functionality to allow zombies to spawn and crawl out of smaller 1 meter spaces and crawl under tighter areas." This is going to change the dynamic of jump scares and stuff, and that's great. Also, when trying to pile through tight and small areas, zombies do get a bit buggy, so anything to fix that's good. But does this mean that hatches are no longer viable for keeping out zombies? I'm going to assume yes, but I could be wrong. It'll be interesting to see. Navezgane will get a makeover so it works with the biome progression system. It does also say that trader POI positions will be updated to improve travel time and flow from large POI townships. This could be quite handy. If a trader is closer to the big towns, I know, like for example, Trader Bob is pretty out of the way for whatever the big town's called in the desert, I don't know. But it would be nice if they were a little bit closer. So that could be quite good. One addition that I'm really looking forward to is the new POIs. Hopefully, if all goes well, the Fun Pimps are aiming to add 50 new POIs into the game. Hopefully, some of these are going to be big endgame POIs and not just tiny little ones that you sort of pass by and not really pay much attention to, but I guess we'll wait and see. It does say underneath that they'll also be adding a variety of POIs for wilderness, which that could be quite good, because I do find wilderness areas are kind of lacking in decent POIs. And they'll be circling back to some of the more endgame POIs to sprinkle in a few of those sneaky zombies, so that could be quite fun. The perk system is getting a bit of an overhaul. There are going to be some pretty big changes. First, all attributes will have 10 perks. Some of them at the minute, they don't. I'm sure you know that, you didn't need me to tell you that. Making it a little more even might help to make leveling up a little bit more intuitive and help you really keep track of what's where. To go one step further, they're also going to make it so that there will be 5 levels to each skill. That's going to be quite handy, because some of them do feel like they've kind of cut off at 3 and they could be room for improvement, so we'll see what they do with that. There's going to be a new mastery perk set for each attribute. My guess is it would be if you max out or spend X amount of points within a certain attribute, you'll get some mastery bonus, a bit like when you read all the books, you get a set completion bonus. That's just my theory, I could be wrong. I am curious to see if you earn a mastery perk and then take the Forgetting Elixir, will you still keep that perk? So that'll be something that will be interesting to find out. Some of the existing perks will be moved to a general perks tab. This doesn't require any attributes. How this will work, I don't know. Is it just a free-for-all, or do you have a limited amount you can use? But we'll have to wait and see. There's also going to be a new Sledgehammer book set. I mean, sledgehammers are already incredibly powerful, so yeah. I mean, short of blasting off zombies to the moon, I can't really see how much more powerful you can get with a sledgehammer. When this update drops, we will be able to wear outfits for their cosmetics only. Basically, if you like the look of a certain set but don't like its bonuses, you can take bonuses from other outfits and just change the appearance. At least that's how I'm reading it. So that would be nice. New quest marker system is going to be put in place. At the moment, no matter what quest you select, there's just an exclamation point. So if they have, I don't know, say a shovel over the buried supplies ones or something, it just helps to separate it a little bit. So it's nothing too major, but it could be a little bit handy, I suppose. The player HUD is set to get an overhaul. This could be quite good. I'm not quite sure how they're going to do it. It would be nice if we saw more details. I know sometimes, at least in my experience, I find it difficult to see the food and water bar. It's a little bit small. They move things around, that would be great. Other little things that aren't really of an interest to me, but they might be to you, are some small sound changes. There's something with footprints sounds, which I didn't think that was a problem, but there we go. Trees and foliage, if you're a farming guy, then go ahead and check those out. Doesn't really interest me that much, but it might interest you. To round off this video, if you're playing with a friend, you'll be able to spawn next to them. That's quite nice, no more long treks on day one. The last sentence of the notes released by the Fun Pimps is about dedicated servers. Whether this means we are going to get them or not going to get them, I don't know. This is how it's worded. We will not know officially if consoles can play on dedicated servers until passing cert on each platform. Fingers crossed. That's kind of no news. I read that, we kind of knew that, I think. But if that's helped you in any way, great. I will put a link to the notes in the comment section for those who want to go and take a look themselves, and also the images and stuff that I've used, I'll also put some links in the description for that. But let me know what you think. Are you excited for the new update? I've had a few comments from people saying that they are, I've had some others saying that they're not. I'm really excited. So, yeah, I can't wait. With that said, hopefully you found this interesting or useful, and I will catch you in the next video.